Echo Fang Grey Wolf, welcome to YouTube. Kung Fu Havoc number 2. I'm trying to set up the live for TikTok. Okay, so welcome TikTok, welcome, damn it, YouTube. So this is the last day of Indigenous Heritage / Native Heritage Month. So I'm going to do some martial arts. I'm going to work with martial art weapons. I'm going to do that same old shit you've seen me do before. I have lights over there. I have lights over there. I have lights behind me. So this way there won't be like a dark disconnect. I'm going to have to move back a little further for YouTube to actually see full body, I guess. Yeah, so hopefully that'll work. So I'm probably just going to do one long video. I'm going to start with that chain first, as I'm so out of practice. So understanding one thing about weapons, you have to understand. As I show you these weapons, I'm going to tell you the one thing that I need to tell you before I start using weapons. Bringing a weapon to a fight can be an advantage and a disadvantage at the same time. It is more of a disadvantage than an advantage, depending on who you are fighting. If you are going against an ace, you just gave them the one advantage that they needed to destroy you. If you are going against someone who is not an ace, you just gave them the one advantage they can use to destroy you. Just because you know how to work a weapon doesn't mean you should bring it to a fight. Anyone teaching martial arts, here or anywhere else, should probably teach you that first. See, I just saved my crotch. Understand that a weapon has range. Like this chain, for instance. Get over here. If I want it to be Scorpion, you have to get through this defense. I don't even have to use my legs, really. All I just have to do is pick up speed. Poor guy behind me would have been awful. See, I lost control. You do that in an actual fight, you're going to lose your weapon. Come in too close. Don't switch hands fast enough. Worse than that, don't know how to control the flow. You're stopping the weapon. The weapon becomes enemy of yours. With rings, same concept. You're good deflecting. But for Wing Chun, you're not going to do any of that shit. It's basically for training, so you can do your chain punches. Everybody teaches Wing Chun differently. Understand that Wing Chun is constantly evolving. For those who do JKD or any other martial art, understand knowing a tiny bit of Wing Chun is better than knowing no Wing Chun. Recognizing a style can help you save your life. There's a centipede. Anyway, understanding that your ability to use weapons does not make you a great fighter. It just makes your ability to use weapons be noted. Alright? Why do I say that? Because in real life, shit happens. Understand that shit. You're coming at me and I got these rings. Boom, boom. Alright? Boom. I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to be doing this. And falling in holes. So you have to understand, just because you have a weapon doesn't mean you're good with it. And even though you're good at it at home in practice, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to walk around with these. Your weapons are these, your forearms, your elbows, knees, and feet. Those are the only weapons you ever going to carry into a fight. Everything else, you're not making a movie, leave these things at home. Rings are hard to block, but they're also hard to control. Some people even have ropes on their rings, so they can sling them out, bring them back, break them, there'll be a rope in two. If I think about it, I might attempt that. Again, have not trained like that since I was 12. So, I'm a little out of the loop on double rings with the rope. So, also, shit happens. You generally need to learn one thing about martial arts. And the one thing you need to learn, the most important thing, anybody who's teaching martial arts needs to tell you. The only thing that matters is your ability to adapt. And then you're all thinking, what? My ability to adapt? Think about it. You adapt to everything in nature, in life. You get thirsty, you go get a cup of water. If there's no water in the house or cups to drink out of the house, who hasn't drunk from a speaking or make a cup out of your hands? Your ability to adapt in life as well as your ability to adapt in a fight. You have to have both of those things to be successful. Alright? One will outdo the other. There are people who fight with the rings here. I'm not that guy. Okay? Keeping these bitches in my hand is hard enough. You want to go crane? You want to go snake? You want to go mantis? You can use those with the rings. Alright? You can use drunken master with the rings. You can use Thai fighting with the rings. You can use a lot of different martial arts with the rings. However, the most important thing you need to know in any fight, you need to have the ability to adapt. Chobos, short sticks, whatever you want to call them. Same concept. Most body movements become habit. So when you see what I did with the rings, you'll see me do it with these. You just have to have a trained eye to watch. My movements rarely change. And there's a reason for that. Once your body discovers what works, it becomes habit. It tends to fall onto habit before it falls onto something new. And so something new becomes habit. You do not whirl these before a fight. Unless you're in a movie. You can whirl them in training because it's cool. It's a mind numbner. You know, it'll distract you. But once you get into a real fight, your chobos should never leave the palms of your hands under any circumstances. So if you're doing Kali, which is here, versus Kempo, which is here, you're going to figure it out. I do not know Kali, so we're not going here. Now there is a form in Kempo that I did not get that's here. But from what I was taught, we're here. Boom, 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 boom. Kali, I think it's this, and then this. I was not taught that, so I'm not going to attempt to teach that shit here. I can't teach you something that I don't know. I can teach you something that I can learn, but it ain't the same thing as actually knowing. You know, so let's say you want to do a front push kick into a tornado kick, but you have your chobos, so none of that shit's necessary. So thrust, push, boom, for Kempo. However, when you hit somebody with one of these damn things, it's more than likely everything that I just did is null and void. Straight up. As you like strike, boom! You're gonna break some ribs with these bitches, man. Straight up, you're gonna hurt somebody when you hit them with a chobo. Hitting myself, it stings, so I just know that if I hit somebody else with full power, I'm going to immobilize something. I'm going to break something. I have another reason why I always tell people not to bring a weapon to a fight. And that reason is really simple. Do you want to get hit by that sumbitch? Because I don't. If I swing this chobo, and another guy doesn't know how to use the chobo, but I have two. He blocks this, hits me before I can strike with this one, and judo throws me, and now he has a chobo. So now we both have a chobo. Now, he might not know how to use a chobo. That doesn't change the fact that he can't use the chobo. He just doesn't know how to use it. So he's not going to be doing this shit. He's going to do exactly what I said. Do not whirl this bitch. We both got sticks. So if I go in, he's going to go in. So if I strike, he's going to strike. He's going to try to block my stick with his stick because he doesn't want to get hit with this chobo. Now when you're swinging this damn thing, you don't have to swing it hard to do damage. Now also remember, it is not how hard you hit, it is where you hit. Knowing where to hit a person is 10 times better than knowing how hard to hit a person. Lots of people are going to disagree with that. Those people have never been hit in the right space, at the right place, at the right time, and have been brought to their fucking knees. I understand that. I have been hit in the right place, at the right time. I have not been brought to my knees. I have been brought to my knees when I got hit in the testicles. But in most fights, I've never been hit in the testicles. Usually I've been hit in the face. So that doesn't hurt as much as getting hit in the testicles. But, you know, the thing about being hit with something solid, take a look at this shit. It seems thin because it's on TV. But I can almost guarantee you, you get hit with one of these bitches. You see how that sounds? That shit is going to hurt. If you do not want to get hit by a weapon, it's best you leave that sumbitch at home. And generally, most people bring weapons to a fight because they can't fight. Alright? Let's keep that shit honest. If we're having a wushu tournament, and I am a wushu expert at bringing chobos, which is not a wushu weapon because this is Kempo. If I brought like swords, or the hook swords, or the broadsword, or even the Quan Dao to a wushu tournament, that's what that's for. If I brought the Mystic Spear, that's what that's for. Because wushu has become a showy martial art versus what it used to be before all of a sudden that shit got super fucking famous for just being a showy martial art. Now, I hate saying this, but I'm going to say it. I'm going to piss everybody off, and I'm going to say it. I don't give a fuck. When your martial art becomes a showy martial art or sport, it loses a lot of its coherency. It gains a hell of a lot of students, but it loses a lot of its coherency. Kempo got put on the map mostly by Jeff Speakman, the Perfect Warrior, or the Perfect Weapon, whatever that movie was, which is why I wanted to learn Kempo. You know, shout out to Jeff Speakman. A lot of other martial arts got put on the map by the WMAC Masters, which made me want to learn more martial arts than the Kung Fu and the Karate that I have been taking, as well as the Wing Chun, which is still Kung Fu, and some of the Thai fighting that I have been taking. Now, my Thai fighting was not legit Thai fighting because I wasn't getting beat for 8 hours a day, standing like this while a sensei was going through me. They have a hardened body technique. There is a Chinese iron body technique. I know just enough of that, but I only have 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, my pain tolerance is over and I'm probably going to sleep. But understand, you getting hit by a weapon, see how that sounds? How that sounds? 2 different sounds. That's a solid hit. If that shit hits you in your neck, you're probably going to the hospital or the morgue. So you gotta be careful. And if you don't want to go to the morgue and you don't want to send anybody else to the morgue, you definitely don't want to bring a weapon to a fight. And if you're making a movie, that's what you do. Looks cool. one I know I was looking at my shadow. And yes, I just dropped the weapon. Which is now you know why you don't whirl them in a fight. So finally, we're going to do commas, and then we're going to use the commas as tonfas. Alright. Commas can be doubled as a kung fu weapon as well as a ninjutsu weapon. Before you get upset, Mother Earth, forgive me. For the people in the back, ninjutsu is actually Chinese. Started in China, Japan took it and enhanced it. Made it a little bit more rambunctiously for wilderness. Which is why they say you gotta live 20 years in Japan to be a ninja. I say don't believe the hype. There's always a shortcut. But shortcuts are costly. Remember that. Shortcuts are costly. I'm one of those people. I believe in shortcuts. But I also know the price that comes with them. And you should know the prices that come with them too. Because if you don't, you will learn. Or as they say in the military, F-A-F. For those in the back, fuck around, find out. Okay? I probably should have put an O on that. But anyway. Comma, same concept. Block, strike, strike. Now the thing about bringing a comma to a fight, you have not come to fight. You have come to assassinate. The clave is like also a comma. It's a ninja weapon with a comma tip attached to a chain. So if you bring that, and you've seen the movie, I think it was called Rain the Assassin, or something about the assassin. The actor that played it was Rain. Little Japanese guy, where he's bigger than me. But, you know, if you're going to bring something like that to a fight, you didn't come to fight. You came to end fights. If you bring commas to a fight, you've come to end fights. You have not come to fight. You've come to destroy. Try to remember what a weapon's purpose actually is. Wooden weapons, for the most part, they're defensive. You rarely have to get close quarters unless you're using chobos. Maybe nunchucks. 3-section, not so much. Bow staff, not so much. Majestic Spear is definitely a fatal weapon. What the fuck is the shit? God damn it, I can't remember the name of it, but it is wooden. Tonfa is also close quarters. The Tonfa comma combo definitely come to finish fights. You didn't come to fight, you came to finish this problem. So always remember what your purpose of a bladed weapon or a steel weapon or a wooden weapon is for. Because not knowing that, you're going to have problems when you bring that to the battle. Alright? So, commas. Again, block, strike, and you have to understand that is not something you're going to do. Let me get closer. Boom, boom, boom. See that? That there, rewind it, watch it again. You're never going to do that in a fight. You're going to fight like this, so that you can change it up versus trying to do that. Trying to do this. Because you're going to gouge off your hand, or you're going to cut off your arm, and nobody's going to give you the time to do that. Not in a real fight. Now, I remember back when these things actually existed for war, not just when they came out and came to the States and became martial art weapons, tournament tools, and things like that. The comma initially was a tool. It was a rice picker, just like a sai. Understand how these things work. Understand that these are practice ones, so that way I don't get banned. These are practice, they're wood. In the right hands, a practice weapon is still a dangerous weapon. I be those hands, alright? Understand, I know what level I'm on, and a belt does not give you a level. A belt just gives you an excuse to be a dick. I have beaten black belts before. No. They didn't miss a class. I just been fighting before I ever learned how to do martial arts. That's the difference maker. If you're using martial arts and you haven't actually ever had to be in a fight with it, then you've been blessed. I'm 5'3". I'm not blessed. I'm a target. Understand the difference. So, you got many different styles. You can do crane. You can do snake. You can do mantis. The problem is with these commas, it's going to be a little bit difficult. All right, but you also can substitute your hand positioning for mantis. You know, now you literally have pinchers, so you literally have them. Crane. Now your blades and your beak are one, and they have tips that are sharp. So now you got to be careful when you do. As you can see, a lot of the motions are one and the same. Don't do that. Yes, I just did this, so you don't do that. You keep that shit the way you have it originally. So don't go, because that's going to happen. You don't want to do that. The reason why I tell you that is, if it would have been a real blade, I would have got my arm cut clean off. Commas are close quarter combat. Within that, when I block and I strike, it's not going to happen. Once I strike, that damn thing's in there. If you're not wearing armor, then this will happen. Because then I can rapidly stab you. But if you're wearing armor, if I'm fighting you in feudal Japan, this is why the second comma is necessary. Boom! That thing's stuck in that armor. Boom! Now I got you. I can rip. But I'm also defenseless to your partners that are around me. I understand these things are not made for distance. They are made to get in. Cool. You want to get them off that way. That way you can defend yourself against oncoming opponents. So if a guy's here and you strike, he's in armor, it's in there. You block his strike, you got somebody else coming. Boom. So you can get this to protect yourself. Also, if that person's right there, you just died. Pure and simple. Because you got this, you blocked the strike, you didn't see the guy coming until it was too late. And also, depending on which blade he has, because you know some of the samurais had that gigantic blade that does not have a sleeve, so that you can't even put the damn thing in. So there's no distance between you and death. So, depending on that blade, if you're stuck with that comma in that guy's armor, and you just blocked his other shot, if he has a partner with that super long katana, we could just say your life just came to a complete new meaning. You're gonna be looking like Snook from the last Star Wars movie, Rise of the Skywalkers. Anyway, let's continue. So, boom, boom, that's for your comma. Alright, so now you got a double strike. If the blades are in, I'm gonna make a suggestion of you turning this way and then gouging versus trying to go out the same way. Because you're gonna have a bit of a problem. Thus, it's not like that guy's not got two hands to defend himself with. You just have to be fast. And again, this is not recommended. And now you see why. If you caught this one, it kind of slashed me a little bit. So had I not been wearing a jacket and this been a real blade, I would have been bleeding. Which again, up close and personal, you're not going to do that. You can do it in the movies. You can do it on the cartoons. I'm Raphael, and I just got my arm cut off. Ha! Now, the reason why I keep telling y'all that, keep showing it to you, it is a reminder. Because I have a bad habit of doing that. You know? Sometimes that shit works. Like a motherfucker, it works. And this time it wouldn't have. I understand the difference. When it works, this blade does not touch my arm. When it doesn't work, the blade does touch my arm. See? Didn't touch me at all. But every other time, it has touched me at least once. So sometimes they'll come off perfect, like that. Most of the time, I screw up. I screwed up on that hand and it worked on that hand. So you have to understand how weapons work. Weapons are just as bad for you as they are good for you. It's a two-sided coin. Alright? The reason why it's a two-sided coin is because if you don't know what you're doing. I lost my arm. And then you lose your head because the guy you're fighting is going to come down. Oh, I still have a sign. Excuse me, a comma. So I can still block it. But I have one arm and I'm bleeding out. Things they forget to tell you what happens in real life when you get into a fight with weapons. When you get disfigured, disarmed, it's a literal thing that you are probably going to bleed out. With a few exceptions like Star Wars where it'll cauterize the wound as it cuts off the arm so you won't bleed out. You'll just be in a lot of fucking pain. So, you know, that would have got my arm cut off. Still got another arm. Why would I try it again, even though it worked perfectly? So now we're going to do, these commas are magically going to become tonfas. So now I'm going to use them as tonfas. Tonfas you can definitely use with crane style. So you go crane, you understand? You can tap, boom, boom, boom. Now you can do it with crane karate and crane kung fu. They are very similar in technique. You know? So for crane karate, when I tap my foot and then I do that, it would be this arm. For crane kung fu, tap my foot, kick, and swing. Because now I've changed the motion. Kung fu and karate are very, very similar and can be used at the same time during fights. The problem is, you're not going to have time to worry about which one you're doing at the time the fight takes place. Understand that shit. It's not even going to matter because the fight's taking place. Again, with tonfas, you're going to find out what works better for you. Inside to out or outside to in. For me, outside to in works better. For you, it may be inside to out. I don't use inside to out of the fear of I'm going to break my own fucking rib or hit myself on the way to exchange with an enemy. So I don't do that. Boom. That works better for me than boom and that. And you see I snagged my jacket? So that's the difference maker. You have to know how these things are going to work. Sorry. Heating up a little bit. And we haven't even done bound fighting yet. So there's still a little bit left to go. After I do bound fighting front and back, we will be done. And I will be taking the gloves off for bound fighting. But for sake of grip, I will be keeping the gloves on. And hell yeah, it's cold out there. But I'm heating up. I'm on fire. Okay, back to tonfas. So again, you're gonna jab, jab, strike if that's your comfortable. Mine is jab and then come over. So it's still outside to in versus inside to out. So let me get by you so I can explain it. Let me go from this way. Outside, inside. I like outside to in. It works better for me. You may be one of the lucky, blessed, or odd ducks that like inside to outside. So now we'll turn this way so you can get a better look. Got to step back because I'm pretty sure that YouTube's getting a good shot of my crotch. So inside to outside. Double strike, that's bad. They shouldn't have connected. So inside and outside. Okay? Inside and outside. Alright, now just inside. 1, inside 2. Okay? Outside 1, outside 2. Now when you're throwing a jab, boom, and you can come in, jab, and out. Let's go from this side so that you can see. Jab, outside, jab, inside. You're going to figure out which one of these damn things work better for you. Like I said, for me, it's boom, boom. That works simpler. Boom, boom. That's the same thing. Versus boom, 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 boom. Okay? Also, I left something off that's very important. I apologize. The situation on how your opponent lands will also affect if you're going to go inside or if you're going to go outside. So if you jab him and he's falling this way, it would be easier to come inside. Plus your jab's already there, so you can catch him on the way down. But if you want to eliminate the situation and he's already going down and you jabbed him, boom, you're going to roll with him. Now also you're going to follow through, so when you hit and you hit, you're going to keep going. Just in case. And that way, while he's down, this thing's right there to block your leg if he tries to do anything stupid. because you're going down. So you're going to be able to stop it. And if not, you can come up. So, boom, you'll figure that shit out. Tonfas are not very difficult to work. They might be a little bit difficult to get used to, but what martial art weapon isn't used to getting used to? Isn't difficult to get used to. So if you're going to throw a kick, boom, boom. That one works for me. This might work for you. Boom, boom. It doesn't work for me. It doesn't feel comfortable. It doesn't feel natural. And I don't like it. But this, boom, boom, feels comfortable and natural. There's a reason why I'm using those words, comfortable and natural, because you need to understand this is comfortable. Okay? This is comfortable. Boom. As I come over, boom, boom, versus boom, boom. That does not feel comfortable. Probably doesn't look right to y'all either. See, boom, boom. Doesn't feel right. So go with your feelings, even if they are opposite of mine. Go with your feelings, because I'm going to teach you what I know. You're going to have to learn how to adapt it to what you know. Every time you are learning a martial art, here's why I piss off more martial artists. If I teach you 7 different things and you practice them for the rest of your life, you're going to make that shit work for your body. Your body is not my body. So my kick that may look like that, yours may not get that high. It may look like that. And then you got people who are specific about that fucking hook foot shit, Well, here's the thing. If you're making a movie and you want to showcase your foot hook thing, that's fine. In real life, my foot's not going to hook when I'm doing a spinning back kick. When I'm boom. No. It's going to hook when I do a spinning hook kick because it's supposed to hook. But it's not hooking in that down formation where you just basically using the blade of your foot. Fuck that shit. You're going to use what works when you're in trouble. Boom. 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 Now, as you notice, I didn't totally release it. I just used the tonfa and not my hand. So, boom, 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 boom. Now that's a full-on strike. But understand that I gotta blow my nose. I'm sorry. Understand that these things aren't toys. They are forever, ever dangerous, regardless of who's using them. They are forever dangerous. And if you don't know what you're doing, and you come against someone who actually does know what they're doing, someone who's been practicing since before you were born, you're going to be in trouble unless you catch them sleeping. If you don't catch them sleeping, it's going to be a whole new world for you. You're going to see Aladdin and all kinds of Disney stars parading around in your head while you're laid the hell out on the ground. I can show you a world, indescribable feelings. Tell me, princess, when did you last let your heart decide a whole new world? I'm just fucking with y'all. But you will be seeing a whole new world. Now, the thing about using your knees with these things. Give you fair warning right now. You strike and you don't put your knee down, you swing this bitch out, or if you swing this bitch in, your knee is going to be part of your target. So, strike, boom. Then do that, make sure you put that knee down. Boom, boom, boom. You want to get that knee out of the fucking way. Because if you don't, boom, boom, clock, you may break your knee. You don't want to do that because you're going to be one wheel down. Then you may have to take your tapas and start beating people like that. So yeah, understand it. Your weapon can also be used against you by accident. So we'll go crane now. Start with X block. Slice down. Tap, tap. Boom. Start with the X block. Slice down. Tap, tap. Boom. Probably got out of range there, so let's try it again. X block, strike. I just fucked up. Try again. Strike. Right. Tap, 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 boom. Still probably out of frame. We'll check that out on YouTube later. Next block, strike, tap, tap, boom. Now again, I don't do inside to outside strikes unless it's necessary. And my alarm's going off. Okay, it's 6 o'clock, so my battery's probably gonna die on that computer. So I'm gonna hurry and make this like the final shit, and I'm gonna break it down and do the bound fighting. So just remember a couple of tips. One, when you block, you can turn to a strike that way, block, turn to a strike that way. Block, strike, block, strike, block, and strike. Outside and inside strikes are very important. How you figure out what works for you is you're going to have to get a pair of tonfas. Not these are not actual tonfas, these are commas, but I'm using them as tonfas because right now there's no store open that can sell me some tonfas. But anyway, when you have tonfas, actual tonfas, go Google it so you'll see what they look like. You will be able to block and strike, or block and strike. Now also you need to understand, these things can be used against you just as well while you're holding them, but every weapon that ever touches your hand can have that happen. Just keep that shit in mind, okay? I don't want to tell you something that is going to get you hurt. I want to keep you from being hurt. I want you to be safe at all times while practicing martial arts. I hope that before you attempt to do anything that I show you, that you've actually had some martial art training. If not, please go get martial art training. Do not attempt to do anything that you've seen here tonight. No. So it's like I have some power because it's not showing me anything. So we're going to go with the bound fighting now. Okay, so you guys pretty much have seen and know the drill. So we're going to do behind the back fighting first because it's the roughest and the toughest to learn and to deal with. And it's the same shit. I'm only going to teach you your options. I'm not going to sit here and try to give you a whole bloody tutorial on shit that you should, could, and probably should do while I'm digging this wedgie out. But no, I'm going to be honest with you about this shit. Can you do this? Yes. If you have proper training, yes. Do I recommend you doing this? Hell to the no. If you are training, you need a professional who has literally been trained to fight with their hands tied behind their back. And there are very few of us out there. Alright? These things aren't really field tested like talking about it. A professional wrestler might be able to help you. A old school martial artist from my generation, maybe older, might be able to help you. But in the reality of today's martial arts, no. There are not too many people who train with this shit. So, before we get too deep, if you only know capoeira, you can still jinga. Okay? So, now, the problem with that is you're really at a loss because capoeira is like dynamically fast and flashy, and your little things like that are going to be more harder for you to do. I do not recommend you doing capoeira with your hands tied behind your back. Slightly, do not do that. Same thing with wushu. I don't recommend it. Do not do it with your hands tied behind your back because you don't want to get hurt. Just like whoever's behind this door here that's trying to get fucked up because I can hear you, I can't see you because the lights are too bright. So you should probably run away now. It's a dog. Who let you out? Come here. Come here. Come here. I'm sorry, y'all. I got a guest. Prada. Come here, sickly smurf. Come here. Come here. I need you to go back to the front. Okay? Because I am doing Kung Fu right now. And I don't need the gas master out here. Okay. Go, go, go. Go, go. Go, go, go. 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 Okay. Anyway, she'll move, I hope. So if you're doing, like, your hands are behind your back, I really need you to move. Go that way. You have to understand that These are blocks, and you will be able to use them. Thank you. And you will be able to defend if you do kickboxing, you know, with your knees, you know, you'll be able to do that. So honestly, remember that you are not totally defenseless, but for the sake of argument, we're going to do what I always do. I'm going to teach you how to get the fuck out of Dodge. Because getting the fuck out of Dodge is going to save your life versus trying to be a fucking hero. Okay? And try not to trip over the dog. Anyway, so inside to outside crescent kicks, outside to inside crescent kicks. You want to kick your opponent in a direction that you do not need to go in. So if you need to go that way, you want to use an outside to inside crescent kick, sending him in that direction. Yes, this is the same bullshit you've seen me do before, because this same bullshit is what's going to save you versus trying to find some way of doing a jumping spin kick and breaking both of your fucking arms. Because I'm not here to do that. I don't have insurance and I'm not getting paid for this shit. So that guy's coming, you need to go that way, you want him to go that way. He's coming, boom! You set him this way. Do not continue to fight if you do not know how to fight with your hands tied behind your back. Shift your weight, move your ass this way. Because that's going to save your life. Same concept if the door is that way, but the only leg available is your left. Now you want to use the inside to outside crescent kick because it's going to save your ass. It's also going to put you in a position of a little bit of danger because you may have to engage. Hopefully if you kick him hard enough, you won't. But that kick looks like this. Boom. So you can also use that and turn it into an axe kick. So, boom. Yeah, you want to be able to at least eliminate the threat. So now with this one, your door's over there. You kicked him that way, you have just enough time to go away unless this guy has like the recovery speed of the Flash where he can catch your foot after you've landed. Then you have to engage. So you better know your shit. Alright? Now, same thing if he's over there and your door's over there, you want to keep him from getting over there. Boom! Yeah, you want to send him in a direction away from your escape route. Know your fucking escape route. Remember, this is a block. It's not going to be a very effective block. This is also a block where you can block with your hand and your leg at the same time. It is not going to be very effective at all. So, yeah, you need to know that. Your hands are tied behind your back. It throws off your balance by 45.7%. That is not an estimated guess. That is because I weigh 120 pounds exact. So, it's going to level more against me than for me. I understand that shit. You divide 120 by 40, let me know what the fuck you get. Add that 0.5 on there, and you'll see why, when you attempt to try to do something like this, you can't get the power you need, you can't generate it, because your body is consciously worried about falling. And if you haven't been in this situation, falling is probably exactly what the fuck is gonna happen to you. So you don't want that shit. So learning how to fight with your hands tied is paramount. One, you need, damn, my flashlight just died. You need to be able to know that. So we're gonna set your little ass over here. Ow. Hoping that substitutes for the light missing. Anyway, you're going to need to know that kind of thing because knowing is half the battle. Knowing how to escape is a whole lot better than knowing how to engage when you have not been trained. So now, again, we're going back to the front. So now we're going to go through your basics again. High right, medium right with lead, low right. High right, left, medium left with knee, low knee. Now, this also helps you train in Wing Chun with your chain punches, but you're not doing that right now. Right now, you are learning how to survive. Guys coming at you, boom, front kick. You're back in the position. This is for those guys who are advanced and want to engage because you're an idiot. Instead of wanting to escape, which would be the best thing for you because your hands is tied. A lot of people don't use common sense. Alright? I'm going to say it because of the truth. A lot of people do not use common sense. They refuse to use common sense because they want to be macho. They want to be Von Damme or Seagal and Chuck Norris. No one wants to be me, the guy that's going to tell you the truth. If my hands are tied and they're in front of me, I have two options. My main option is to get the fuck out instead of trying to engage you and be the hero that I am not, versus saving myself and not being a hero. So again, basic front kick, boom. I've slowed you down, but if I got to engage, boom, 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 I'm set to go. I know what I have to do. But most people have not been trained in martial arts. Everybody who thinks they're an MMA fighter until they get hit in the mouth are probably the generic jackasses that you're probably following, who are going to tell you, engage, engage. No, fuck that shit. Your hands are tied behind your back. Engaging is not an option. Your hands are tied in front of you. Engaging is not an option. If you are not a fighter, if you have never been in a fight a day in your damn life, the last thing you want to do is get into one. Because it's probably not going to work out in your favor. That damn dog's still here. What are you doing? I'm shooting video. You need to go. Go back to the front. Somebody will let you in. 1 second. Go pee. Don't do it. Go pee, Yuri. You and you. Go over there. Thank you. My co-stars, Yuri and Prada. So, back to what I was saying. It is better to get away than engage. If you are forced to engage, it is a different matter because your life depends on your engagement skills. Alright? So, your block, strike, strike. Alright? That was Kung Fu. Now let me show you Kung Fu Karate combo. Block, strike, move. Now you want to understand how I switched. This one was Kung Fu. Just Kung Fu. Boom, boom. All on the same level, all on the same axis, all in the same little bit of motion time. Now Karate, I added more power, so I switched elbows. So I block, I struck, and I come down. When I came down with the other elbow versus this elbow, that added the power with that torque, which makes it karate. I'm pissing off a lot of martial artists right now. Somebody's going to watch this and call me bullshit. And I was like, okay, well, you can tie your hands up and practice, and then you let me know how that shit works out for you. So, front basic kick, boom, boom. Now, I turned it into a Kung Fu side kick because I'm stuck engaging this fucker now. Alright? So now I have no choice, but I need to keep that shit simple. Keep it really simple. I'm not going to be here trying to carry on a lot of kicks and a lot of punches. I have to engage now because I have no choice. But when I had a choice, it should have been front kick, boom, side kick, run. Because once you kick somebody with a front kick, depending on where that shit lands, if you catch them straight in the stomach and they bend over and you catch them in the face, you're good to go. So go. Do not try to be a hero. So if you're coming, boom, boom, you're done. I kicked you here and I kicked you in the freaking head. If you're not knocked out, you're tough as nails and I got a problem. But I'm halfway up the street with that problem because I chose to run. Now, I had a conversation the other day with Rob from McDojo Life, so shout out to Rob. A good run is better than a bad stand until you have nowhere to run. That being the factor and your hands being tied, engaging is not a good idea in the first place. Which goes back to, if he's coming at you and you need to escape, if your escape route's behind you, turn and run. Instead of fighting. But if you have to fight him, then you want to do enough damage that you don't have to engage but one solitary time. So he's coming at you, boom! You just kick the shit out of him. He's in that direction, you're in this direction. And you get the fuck out of there. because you don't know how to fight with your hands tied. Very few people do. And if you understand how to fight with your hands tied, you still should know better than to engage. Guy's coming, and now you're going to engage because this kick is going to put him in a position blocking your door. Boom. Now he's blocked my door. He's right here. My door's right behind him. Now I have to engage because I fucked up. What I should have done, so I don't have to engage him, he's coming, my door's right there. Boom. I sent him in this direction. Now I can go to my door, and I can get the hell out of Dodge. Some people are just genetically inferior in the thought process, and the difference between your life and your death is how you approach a situation. My hands tied and you have a gun, guess what? Whatever's in my pocket, it's yours. I'm not going to try anything stupid. I'm not going to try to wrap these things around your throat because I don't want to die. And what if I'm with my wife, if I had one, or if I'm with someone that I care about, and their life is in as much danger as mine? The only way I'm going to engage if I know for sure that the person who's holding us at my gunpoint doesn't have a partner, and if he can get close enough to me where I can grab him, and my person that I'm with is not in enough danger that they can get shot when the struggle starts. Also know that it's a possibility that you're going to get shot dealing with someone who has a firearm. So just give them what the fuck they want. You can get your money back. You can cancel your debit cards. You can't get your life back once that's taken. I hope you guys understand where I'm going with that so you don't be stupid. But if you have to be stupid and you have to engage with someone, hold on, my nose is running. Again. If you have to engage with someone, you're taking a hell of a risk. I'd rather you follow me and I give you the truth than you follow someone that's going to tell you some shit that's going to get you killed. Alright? This shit here will probably get you killed because you have not been trained on how to fight with your frickin' hands tied. Very few people on this earth has been trained to fight with their hands tied. Understand that shit. This shit is not a game. It is not a joke. And fighting with your hands tied is not impossible. It's just highly improbable. When I got handcuffed, I had already knew that if I had to hurt the guys that my cousin stole their car from, and I had to take the heat for that shit because I was driving the stolen car and didn't know that the car was stolen. If I had to hurt them while I was handcuffed, I knew that I was fully capable of doing such a thing. Alright? And the first thing that the big brother said, while the little brother who broke his fist on my face, he literally broke his hand on my face. The first thing I said to the big brother was, dude, you from North Carolina, you do not know who the fuck I am, dude. You think these handcuffs are going to stop me if I'm about to go to jail? I'm going to kill you with these damn things because I was going to literally thrust them into his throat and trip him and sit on top of his chest and hold him down until the cops either shot me, tased me, or tackled me the shit up off of him. And he was 6'4". I'm 5'3". Don't think I'm less dangerous because I'm short. Find out how deadly short people actually are. Because we don't play. Understand that, Craig. We don't play. I'm 5'3". I can't be playing with anybody. I'm also 48. I don't have time for games. If we're going to engage, I'm going to do everything I can to severely put you into a healthcare facility. I have to mind my words. But, so, we're going to engage. Now I'm going to give you a couple of tips on getting screwed up and have to engage. So your inside to outside crescent kick has put you in a position where you have to fight. This is where learning how to block comes in. For those who do not know, this is your inside to outside crescent kick. Alright, your door's right there, and you just put him there. So now you have to engage. He throws a punch, boom. He throws a punch, boom. He throws a kick, boom. He throws another kick, boom. You understand that I'm blocking punches and kicks. He throws a foot sweep, I lift, and now I can return. I have to choose my spots. If you're going to fight with your hands tied, you are going to have to choose your spots. He throws a foot sweep, boom. Alright? I jumped over his foot and I kicked him. And he did not throw this foot sweep. He threw this foot sweep. Understand that there's more than one foot sweep. There's at least 4 or 5 different foot sweeps depending on what martial art you are being taught. There's not just one. There's not just the one Scorpion does in the first video game. That's not the only foot sweep. It's not the one that Sub-Zero does in the first game. The foot sweep and slide. There's more than one fucking foot sweep. Which is why I said when I jump it, boom, I'm kicking him. Because if he doesn't block that foot sweep, or he doesn't block that kick when he does the foot sweep, it doesn't take much. I just gotta have the right target. And you'll need to learn that. You'll need to learn that the most important thing in a fight is not how hard you hit, it is where you hit. This is why everybody's gonna disagree with me. I don't care. Size doesn't matter. I know where to hit you. I don't have to hit you hard to stop you. I just have to hit you right. That's something that you need to understand. A lot of martial artists that are over 6 feet are gonna laugh at me and tell me that that's full of shit. And I was like, no, it's not. I just gotta hit you right. I ain't gonna hit you hard. I just gotta hit you right. If I hit you right, it's done. You running at me, boom! I kick you. I don't catch you in the chin with that jump kick. I catch you right mid-center sternum. Above the belly button, below the breastbone. You're stopping. Because the air in your body just sucked out. Possibly your soul. I'm stopping you because I'm hitting you right. I'm not hitting you hard. So I'm also doing Wing Chun, which is a really soft leveled martial art. Now it's not like kickboxing. It's not like Taekwondo pit pat. But if I'm jumping and I'm barely putting anything behind it, boom, and you're running, your momentum times my momentum, my targeting times your idiotness. You're coming at me and I'm ready. Boom. Now, I don't have to put much behind it. But I do got to make sure that that shit's accurate. Whether it's a simple toe or the whole foot. That shit has to be accurate. It has to be exactly where it's supposed to land. Now, if the toe just grazes you, it should still do enough damage to slow you down, which means you're probably going to tackle me, which means I'm going to have to roll with that shit judo style, because you have to understand you're going to need more than one martial art in this world. You can base yourself in one martial art. I don't recommend that shit. I say study as many as you possibly can. Become the jack of all trades, because you're going to master none, because things are always evolving. You can no longer truly master martial arts now. You can't. No matter what anybody says, you can't truly master martial arts now because there's always somebody younger, somebody who can do something that you can't do. Doesn't mean they can beat your ass. It just means that they are fully more capable in their youth to do things with their body that your body can't even fathom the thought of connecting. So, therefore, you're going to have to deal with that shit. So, you coming at me, and you're about to do the only the strong spin wheel, super omega twisty 540 spin kick thing. I'm not going to be there when you start that rotation. I'm going to be there before you start the rotation. So when you start getting ready to hit like the butterfly twist thingy, as soon as your head's here, boom, my foot's there, right at your face, because you're going to sleep. I'm not going to be that idiot, unless we're making a movie, that's going to let you get one of these damn butterfly kicks. That throws off my weight, because my hands are tied. So it can be done. You just seen me do a butterfly kick. Do I recommend it with your hands tied? Fuck no. You keep that shit basic. Your hands are tied. Your hands are tied. The last damn thing you should ever do is something fancy. You want to do something fancy. Here it is. Front kick, side kick, front kick. Okay? That's it. Keep that shit Wing Chun. Right there. Front kick, boom, side, boom. Now, I've done 3 things in less than 1 motion. My right foot never had to touch the ground. We'll do it from the side so we can end this video because my computer's about to die. So, again, front kick, boom, side kick, and front kick. Why? Because it's simple, it's easy, it's effective, and I'm kicking you in the same spot all 3 times, which is your sternum. Boom, boom, boom. Now, if you bend over, when I kick you in the sternum the first time, if I connect right, those last 2 kicks are going to be in your face. Simple. Boom, boom, boom. Right foot doesn't have to come back down. Can't do it on this leg. Hip doesn't rotate like it used to. But we can attempt it. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, can do it. There's no power behind it, but can do it. But understand, you have to know what you're getting into. Yeah, got those a punch, block, boom, boom. There's a hole here, so I lost my balance. So I got those a punch, block. I'm going to do kung fu now versus karate. I get to the outside, I pull, throw that knee, throw that elbow, because they're right there. Plus my hands are tied. I could pull, knee, and then elbow, but that combination is a little bit more complicated because my hand is tied. But if I block, pull, knee, and elbow this way, I got a better chance at getting out of there because it'll be boom, 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 and I'm out. I know you're thinking, but James, that's a coward's way out. You ain't a coward if you survive that shit because you didn't have a choice in the first place, and your hands are tied. So that makes me a coward, so be it. But I'm a living coward because I got the hell out of Dodge instead of trying to be a hero and wind up dying trying to engage somebody. So again, block, boom, elbow, kung fu, block, boom, punch down, karate. Or I can do it this way, block, kung fu, kung fu. Or I can change it, block, kung fu, karate. You'll get your combos when you learn. Once you learn your combos, you figure this shit out, you're going to have less problems. My hands are getting cold, so I need to speed this up. The thing with fighting is you're going to have to learn how to use what works. So if you block and you push him this way, you can get behind him and put this under his throat. Now you're here. Knee in his back. He can't breathe, he can't fight. You know, understand how things work. These are weapons, even though they have become one weapon. This thing in the middle, the thing that they think is hindering you, is actually going to help you if you know what you're doing. So when he throws a punch and you get by him, do not try to lock your arm around his arm. You're only going to make shit worse for you because he still has another free arm and two free legs. But if he throws a punch and you bat it, he's right here, boom. You get behind him, put it around his head, so it would be more like boom, boom, leap over, put it on his head, you're on top of his back. You block over, you put your knee on his back, and you choke him. Yes, it is violent. Yes, I am sorry, but better him than you. And your hands are tied. Now, after he goes unconscious, get the fuck out of Dodge. Do not reel when you put your knee in his back. Do not reel. That means do not lift all the way up. Just push the pressure down because if you start reeling and you're already on top of him, you're probably going to kill him. So you don't want to do that. So when you're knee on his back, you just push down. Keep your pushing down. Do not reel and push at the same time because if you're pulling and pushing, you're going to do some damage to somebody that they probably won't recover from. So you don't want to do that because charges may be pending after that. And you don't want to be caught in a situation where even though you were defending yourself, the law works funky. So, especially if you've been trained. Like if you've been trained in martial arts, the law works kind of funky. It's like, okay, well, let's see. We're going to run a background check on Mr. Williams. He's never been in a deep shit with the law outside of a speeding ticket, but he's a veteran of the United States Army. We don't know what he was taught, but we know his MOS was 11 Bravo. If you go Google 11 Bravo, you'll understand it. That is not the job that you want, unless you want a legal way to unalive people. Okay. Now, initially, when I was in basic at processing, they said we were going to be 11 Oscar, but they turned us into 11 Bravo. So somehow, I guess 11 Oscar might be infantry too. I don't know, but I know 11 Bravo is definitely infantry. So I was 11 Bravo. And then I wound up being 11 Delta, but I was still part of infantry. I just went from Bravo to Golf to Delta. Anyway, that being said, each of the martial arts training there was differently. In Bravo, we learned Taekwondo. I wasn't in Golf but a day and a half because I tried to hurt a drill sergeant. I told my first sergeant in Delta that if I go back over there, somebody ain't coming back home and it ain't going to be me. So then they shifted me to Delta. I found a home in Delta. Salute Delta Force. Anyway, that being said, When you get this thing around their neck and your knee is in their back, that's all you're going to need. Now, if they're bigger than you and they're resisting, you may want to tug a bit, but you don't want to do a full-on reel back. Just push your knee. Yeah, just push your knee. So that way you don't unalive anybody. But you know, if it's a life or death situation, somebody may be getting unalived. Okay, so it is 6:30, and I'm going to end the live, and I'm going to end the YouTube so I can go post it. So if you're here and you missed anything, I will put the link in the thing. I won't put the link. I will just type the damn channel name in the thing, so that'll solve that problem. You guys know what I'm trying to say, because I don't even know how to post the damn lives. But anyway, that being said, if you're going to fight, you must learn the difference between fighting just for the sake of fighting and fighting to survive. I am not going to teach you to fight for the sake of fighting. Been there, done that since I was 6 years old. Fight to survive, I do that. Because a fight is not a game. And you need to understand that you're not playing with just your life or someone else's life. And you should only fight if you have to survive. Now, if you're getting paid by the UFC, hey, knock yourself out. But if you're fighting just to have nothing better to do than to make people miserable, you're not the person that I'm going to be teaching anything. Although once this is posted, there's nothing I can do about it. But for the sake of argument, understand your body is the only weapon that counts. It is the only weapon you're ever going to need in life. And if you don't know that, then you're going to be in deep trouble. If you bring a weapon to a fight, a weapon is an advantage that can be taken from you at any given moment in that fight. You must know how to adapt at any and every moment of that fight. And if you don't know those two things, then you're going to have a lot of problems. Like a lot of problems. That being said, I am Echo Fan Grey Wolf. This is Kung Fu Havoc number 2 and TikTok, and I thank you all for being here. Thank you for giving me the time of day.